Yes, our party has been discussing this issue about Article 3, I mean the Clause 377. We are not for criminalization of this. So if there is any step taken for decriminalizing this, we would support it.
देखिए हम तो जो है वो समलैंगिक संबंधों के समर्थन में नहीं, हम रूढ़िवादी आप कह सकते हैं, परंपरा के पोषक हमको कह सकते हैं, देखिए हम होमोसेक्सुअलिटी जो है उसके समर्थन में हम व्यक्तिगत रूप से नहीं हैं.
It's a very good ruling. It opens up the way now to normalize a lot of things. This is the first step towards opening up the world in a way that we should have been doing ever since we became independent, really.
I don't want to make any comment without going through the judgment of the Honorable High Court. Number two, we don't have any proposal with regard to the changes that the government want to bring in this particular law.
Now, I have just now heard about it. I have not gone through the judgment made by Honorable Court. So unless one goes through the contents of the judgment, it is not fair for me to comment on it.
As far as the practice of homosexuality is concerned, I think that is completely wrong.
असल में ये हाई कोर्ट का निर्णय है, बड़ा दुर्भाग्यशाली है. इससे समाज की रीति नीति सब समाप्त हो जाएगी.
We are basically, whether I am a Muslim or Hindu or whatever, basically we are a religious society, and our temperament is that any act which is unnatural, and homosexuality is nothing but an unnatural act.
This judgment is certainly rather surprising and disappointing for us, for the reason that this can give rise to lots of licentious behavior within society.
Today was a day of triumph for India's gay community. The Delhi High Court ruling overturns a 148-year-old colonial law which called a same-sex relationship as an offence, punishable by 10 years in prison. The celebrations aside, today's historic ruling now raises a few questions on what it all means.
After today's judgment, is gay sex legal nationally? Will all states fall in line with it? Or is Delhi the temporary gay capital of India?
The High Courts are not bound by the judgment of the Delhi High Court, but I'm sure if they see its reasoning and conclusions, they may follow it. Ultimately, the matter will come up to the Supreme Court, there's no doubt about it. Even as far as this is concerned, I'm sure leave will be granted. The real thrust of the judgment is it is not criminal. It has not legalized it, it has decriminalized it.
The second question that arises is, will the government openly support homosexuality? And if not, then why?
I think that the only thing that is holding this government back is simply Muslim votes. What will the Muslims say? And not even Muslims, by the way, the Muslim clergy. This is the Muslim clergy. These are some 18th, 19th century seminaries.
And finally, the third question, which might not really present a clear answer. What is the real reason for political opposition towards consensual gay sex? Is it a religious political factor or merely a health factor?
As per the queries and allegations that the government should do this or should do that, well, a certain result has been achieved. After that result, at least those queries have no relevance now. Because what you are asking the government to do or not to do in respect of 377, one way or the other, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but one way or the other, the court has decided it. Now the only issue is whether the executive branch of the government will take further action on judgment or not.
The government may be implying that the courts have pretty much done their job for them. But for the gay community, they would like to see Parliament now introduce a law that not just decriminalizes homosexuality, but goes a step further, legalizing gay sex.